A new day begins, it's time to shine. A day is made by his grand design. So fill up your cup as you listen in. Wake up in the morning with Shelly on WAPN. On WAPN.
Good Monday morning. How are you this morning? I am great and ready for a Monday, ready for the end of the month. Where did July go? I know I just say that every month, but I really feel that July just flew on out of here. I was like, we were just celebrating July 4th, and here we are, the end of the month. Got to get her all done, but that's okay. I like to have stress. I like to get it done. I was just making my check-off list for today. I've got some station errands I need to take care of and some other stuff around here and get her done. And just thanking the Lord for a hedge of protection over Tim and I yesterday. Tim and I were on the boat and having, a good time. People had said the weather was going to be bad, like at 4 o'clock, but, we're in Florida. So who even thinks about it, really? I mean, 30% chance of rain every day, blah, blah, blah. So we were just coming on back. And the sky did not look that bad. And then as we got closer and closer, it seemed to, there were some dark clouds, but again, didn't seem that bad. Got the boat out of the water and we were headed to the house, and all of the 3 miles and lightning started over the house and over WAPN, and I was like, Got home, and if you know me, I am old school about certain things. I don't like to talk on the phone when it's lightning. I don't like to definitely be on the boat. I don't like to take a shower. I know all those things that you used to be told when you were little. Yes, I am. Sometimes I am those things. So we're cleaning up the boat. We just spray it off, clean the engine, blah, blah, blah. Gonna cover it up, and we're getting it put back away. And literally, as soon as Tim got it unhooked, it started sprinkling. And Tim's like, well, go ahead and get the other boat. The other truck in the driveway, blah, 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 because we like to have it all ready for the week. And it started pouring. The next thing you knew, it was 55-mile-an-hour winds. We even had hail at our house. I took a picture because I couldn't believe that we actually had hail at our house. Every trash can in the area was down. Tree limbs everywhere. Tim even found mistletoe, which I thought was so darn cute. But it was just crazy for about 45 minutes. I am so thankful that God got us home safely, as I would have been crying. I would have been crying on the boat. So praise the Lord for, hedge of protection over us. And it was just wild. But that was like the excitement of the weekend. We had a wonderful weekend. I hope you did too. We went to a restaurant we hadn't been to in years, on the water, and just, thoroughly had just great times working on the house, doing some errands, stuff like that. But I just feel like this is an all in all weekend for the books. Yeah, weekend for the books. Talked about the cruise that we're going on next year to Alaska and different things like that. So just love dating my husband, love the life we lead. I love that we live here. We staycation where everybody else vacations. Yesterday morning we were on the river. Well, I was on the river. Tim was working on the trailer. And so we had the boat in the water, which I had to watch the boat. And I was just sitting on the boat looking at that river, and I was just thinking, how can somebody say there isn't a God? How could anybody, when you just look around you, just literally pause in the chaos of life, because we're all busy. We all have schedules. We all have things, deadlines we got to get done. Like I said, I'm making my list and checking it twice, and it's the end of the month. But those are just things, But do you ever, the old saying, stop and smell the roses? Do you stop and look at the sunset? Do you stop and look at the sunrise? Do you just sit there on the river and just be in awe? It was so darn calm yesterday morning. Literally, if I knew how to skip a stone, yesterday would have been the day to do it. The water was just like glass. It was gorgeous. And then a few short hours later, hell's happening, literally hail is happening, and 55-mile-an-hour winds, and I guess boats got turned around, and I guess jet skis got flipped. Crazy. Yeah, The goodness of God protected us yesterday. So I'm very, very thankful. Hope that you had a wonderful weekend. I hope that you're up bright and early, praising the Lord for hedge of protection, praising the Lord for all things, and getting ready to take on your work week. Maybe it's a school week. Maybe it's a work week. Maybe it's people always say, well, you stay home to people. Well, staying home is a lot of work, just so you know. You're running the household, running the kids, running everything. So that is not a job, just so you know. You just don't get paid for it. You get paid for it in hugs and kisses. But whatever you're doing today, I hope that you're prayed up. I hope that you're excited. I hope that you've praised the Lord this morning, shouted out to God your wonderful things that he has done for you over this weekend, over these days. And ready. I was sitting here thinking about August. We got a couple big events for my daughter's business coming up, and I get to help her with those. I'm so thankful for that. That is something I thoroughly enjoy. I call it my therapy. It's not radio, so it's something totally different. And so I was thinking about that, the events that we have coming up, and the goodness of God, that I am healthy, that I get to do these things, that I have the strength and the ability to do these things. I was at the food drop on Friday, and everybody says, well, you're getting older. You shouldn't stay the whole time. I love it when people decide what I am. And I stayed the whole time. Now, we brought our pop-up tent. I am going to order a little fan for the pop-up tent. Let me just tell you, it's in my cart. I'm going to do that this morning because that pop-up tent makes the world of difference when you're at a food drop. So we did the food drop. We were zucchinis. And it's so funny. The devil is a liar, just so you know. But there's that parasite going around on lettuce. Now, I know that lettuce and zucchini are not the same things, but they're both green. And when I first knew that we were going to do zucchini, for a moment, I thought, but it's green. And I had to giggle at myself. Sometimes you allow your mind to take over something. And I said, no, I'm going to do this. We were bagging up the zucchinis. We had a whole big old pallet of it. And I don't know, there was 409 families blessed on Friday. I don't even know if we could bless everybody. There were so many people in line. It just goes to show you the need of outreach. Outreach is such a huge thing, and people don't realize how important it is for outreach. People don't realize how important it is to volunteer. A huge advocate on volunteering. Something every month, like be it an hour. If you have an hour and you could go, do crafts with a senior or go read in the library or whatever you can do, whatever your item is, it doesn't have to be slinging food at a food drop. That is just something I love. I think it keeps your body in motion. You're out in the fresh air. You're in the hot weather. You're getting good and sweaty. Yes, good and sweaty. I'm not a big person that gets sweaty all the time. My husband is a landscaper. I know y'all know that. And he's out in this heat. And I go from, it's a princess thing I do, I know. I go from an air-conditioned radio station, which is kept at like 73, 75, to a car that's got air conditioning front and back, to a home that we keep at 73. So, yes, I do live a very good life, and I am very thankful for the life I lead. But, the other part of my life, besides playing radio, which everybody thinks I play radio, I don't even know what that means, people, is I volunteer. And I was looking at my month of July because I think it's very important. I keep like a little log of the things that I do just because I want a reminder of the goodness of God and how that he allows me to stay strong, allows me to be part of this community, allows me to do outreach. And so I love to look at that. And I was thinking about the interviews that I've done this month with the upcoming events for back to school bags and stuff. I will be putting all those flyers up today on Facebook. So scroll to Facebook and see all the different flyers of what's going on this upcoming weekend. I have been able to give shoes away. I have been able to make senior bags and give those away, and school supplies to several different places, and financially been able to help with school supplies besides buying school supplies. I have been able to go to events. I have been able to serve in our community. I am thankful. And I think that that's why God does have me write it down, because the days do go so fast and we get so much on our plate that we forget to stop and praise the Lord. And I just want to tell you right now, this Monday, praise the Lord. I'm thankful. I praise the Lord every day. I am thankful every day, but yesterday when that storm started, and I was so thankful we were not on the boat. Not that my husband is not an amazing boat person, not that we don't have a bimini, not that I don't have rain jackets on the boat, because I have all those things, but I just don't like it. And God knew that, and it could have stole my joy. And God said, nope, she's having such a good weekend. We're not going to do that. We're going to get her off the water. We're going to get her home safely. And actually, if it's just me and Tim, I don't care as much. We have had great lives, good lives. But when we used to have the grandchildren on there, I would just be frantic. Get that boat to the dock, get those grandkids off, and get them in the truck. And it's different. It's so funny as life happens, how things are different. Yesterday, my daughter turned 41, Yvonne, and I didn't even get to see her. Now, I did get to finally talk to her, but she's married and she has a life and all that. And I've had to learn to just be a mom. Now, for all those years, I was the mom, you know what I'm saying? And I took care of the planning and the figuring out and the making sure she had a cake and all the things. And now, all these years she's been married, that is not my responsibility. And it is hard to step back when you are the mom or the parent or whatever you are, or the business owner or the worker, or whatever you are. There's a time and a season for everything. And the season I am in now is a pretty good darn season. I have to say, I love this season. I loved all the other seasons, and I love how God allows you to go through all the other seasons, and the next season's always the better season. And we're living our best life and thoroughly enjoying it and thankful for all things. But you've got to be thankful what season God has you in. He might have you in a season you feel uncomfortable. He might have you in a growing, stretching season. He might have you in a medical season. He might have you in a single season. He might have you in a chaotic mother season where you've got 4 kids going to school and you're trying to figure it all out. I don't know what season he has you in, but there's a season that you are in, and live the best life you can in that season. And that's what I thoroughly try to do. I try to look at the season I'm in and say, thankful that I can go sling the groceries. Thankful that I can put a tent in my car and carry it. And thankful that I could do all the things that I do. I know people say, well, you're getting older. Tim always tells me I'm getting older. But you do what you feel best doing. And I feel that I'm at the best season. And I probably said that 42 other times in my life. But, embrace the season that God has you in right now and thoroughly enjoy it, because he knew way before this season got here what you'd be going through. And so walk into this season boldly, walk into the season expecting, walk into the season eyes open, walk into the season with your ears listening, walk into the season with boundaries. I know, boundaries. Yep. I was not good at those in a couple of my seasons, but it's another thing God has taught me. So I am excited for this week. I'm excited to go do the errands today that need to be done. I got my checkoff list, and I'm excited to see what God's going to do with this week. Well, y'all, let's get our favor on. Let's get this day going. It doesn't matter what things look like today. You need to keep boldly declaring the favor of God is coming my way. The favor of God is coming my way. He's got it all planned out. I just get to be part of it. So I can either choose to go in kicking and screaming, or I can choose to go in favor-minded. And I am choosing to go into this week favor-minded. It is Monday, July 27th, 2026. You're listening to WAPN 91.5 FM right here in Volusia County, WAPB 91.7 FM in Madison County. The weather today is 90 with a low of 77. Madison, 96 with a low of 77. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday, Teresa and Connie and Megan and everybody else celebrating a birthday, anniversary, whatever you're celebrating. Today is National Creme Brulee. I have never had creme brulee. I don't even know what creme brulee is. It kind of looked like pudding with a crusty top, I guess, or a baked top. I don't know. So if you know, let me know. Remember to check out WAPN's Facebook. I will be putting up flyers today about the upcoming stuff for this weekend. If you are in need of a backpack, shoes, stuff like that, There's going to be all kind of flyers. Look at them, check them out, and see where you can go. We all have a wonderful, great day. I am praying for you as you pray for me.